If you were going to pick one watch as the most iconic watch of the 1980s, the Casio calculator watch would definitely be on the short list, especially as featured in the legendary Back to the Future Marty McFly's CA50. This one is the evolutionary hero of that series. This is the CA53W. Fun fact, this watch did receive screen time in the second and third Back to the Future films and did stand in for the CA50 in the flashback sequences. So if you love the 80s, if you love Back to the Future, if you love watches, this one is definitely a must-own. That said, I do want to take a look at a more modern version of the databank that has more features and is arguably just a better watch. Or is it? Let's get started. Spoiler alert, it is not my Apple Watch that we're going to feature today. Even though you can do the calculator thing virtually on your smartwatch, it's just not the same as having that tactile feel, form, fit, and function of a dedicated conventional watch, such as this awesome Casio. So what could possibly be better than a Casio? Well, how about another Casio? Quick look at the barcode. This is module 2888. And let's get this thing unboxed. Pretty typical Casio packaging. And let's get this opened up and take a look at our data bank. Get the plastic off, and we still have some protective film on our screen there, but we have our typical retail stand. We got our flag calling out a cool feature, 10-year battery, a 25-page data bank, as well as your auto LED. Yes, this watch does feature Casio's classic Illuminator function, which is so cool. Remove the rest of our protective film and get a closer look at this beautiful display. So easy to read. Love the modern, quote-unquote, look to this watch, the curve, as well as the taper at the keyboard there with those multiple keys. This is a typical Casio with all resin design on the case, band, as well as the glass. We have our A and B button on the left side. Right side, we got a light button and a C button. Pretty typical stuff here. Let's get this off of the stand here and finish up our unboxing so we can get a closer look at this watch. And as expected, we get a nice manual from Casio. Always easy to read, straightforward stuff here, but love the fact that we still get paperwork with these watches. 1-year warranty for defects, and that concludes our unboxing for our all-resin DBC32-1. As we open up our watch band here and get a closer look at just some of the design here. You see that bend to the stainless steel case back. This watch is not going to rest completely flat on your desktop because of that, but very interesting, unique case shape here. And you can see we do have some stamped in info from Casio on the case back itself. I don't see water resistance rating. I do believe it's going to be 50 meter water resistance. A quick look at some of the key specs here. Of course, dual timekeeping. This is an LED auto light Illuminator watch. Of course, the calculator, currency conversion for rate exchange, and 25-entry data bank, 10-year warranty with a CR 2025, a 37.4 millimeter case, and only 32 grams or 1.2 ounces. Super light, super straightforward, super cool. All right, through the magic of YouTube, I've changed some of the lighting settings on the desktop, as well as gone ahead and reattached this watch to a pillow to give us a little closer look at some of the buttons, and we're going to go over some of the functionality of this very unique presentation of a watch. Love the different colorways. I love the red accents at the calculator keys, sort of adding some dimension and just some detail and character there. Very subtle, but very cool. Just want to go over some of the observations with the watch band. Do you have a nice barb there at the very end, keeping it seated nicely with the keeper? The resin material itself feels very nice. While lightweight, it's not premium by any means, but it definitely doesn't feel as cheap as you would think. It feels smooth, almost silicone-like, definitely not as plasticky as I thought it would be. Taking a look at our main timekeeping mode, you do have your typical timekeeping, but you also have these 3 checkboxes at the top right. And let's talk about how to get those features to actuate. The auto light, you hold down your light button for a few seconds. You'll see that's now selected. Now when we tilt the watch on the wrist, it will automatically cue the light. The next feature is 3-second light duration. Currently we're in the factory default mode of 1.5 seconds. Hold down our adjust button and then simply tap the light button and you can see we are now in 3-second duration mode. And the last checkbox is for mute, and to do that we're going to scroll over to calculator mode. And the watch is a calculator, and there's a lot you can do with a calculator, including, I don't know, saying hello to your friends. Hello friends, did you like and subscribe yet? Please do. Alright, I know I'm getting distracted, but this watch is so much fun.
Let's go while we're young.
Alright, take it easy, man. Sorry. Alright, back to how to mute the watch. We are in the calculator screen, and hitting the C button, you can toggle between currency exchange and calculator mode. If you hold the C button down, it will actuate the mute. And now, as you can hear or not hear, we have successfully muted the watch and now have all three checkboxes engaged for those three customizable features. So there you have it. Wanted to point out a really cool feature. If you're in a mode such as calculator mode, you have timekeeping in the lower left-hand corner, not in data bank, but in calculator, alarm mode, stopwatch mode, and dual time mode. Of course, lower left-hand dial there, we've got our current time at the home screen, ever present. So let's quickly talk about data bank. You have 25 default entries that you can put into this watch, and that's anything from phone numbers to serial numbers to passports to account passwords, information, any vital data that you want to put into this watch, you can enter in. And the great thing about that is if you happen to lose your smartphone, you've got important phone numbers, important data that you have in your watch, and it's just got a 10-year battery backup for that information. And arguably it's more secure than it is on a phone or on a computer, because let's face it, folks can hack into those things via the internet or networking. With a watch, it's strictly local. There's no way somebody can tap into it without literally physically taking the watch and using it that way. So no one's going to backdoor your information through cyberspace with this piece of equipment, which is sort of refreshing in this day and age. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Is this a feature that you would ever use? And if so, I mean, if you're not going to use it, it's worth having some of this information in there if you ever need it in an emergency. Let's say it's not vital information, something like phone numbers, passwords, account numbers. I don't know. You tell me. Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. All right, this video is turning into a marathon, so real quick, I wanted to go over one more feature. In calculator mode, you do have the currency exchange feature that you can toggle in between calculator and currency exchange. If you go to exchange, hold down the adjust button, it will blink for you to enter in the value of whatever the currency is you want. So if I'm traveling to Japan and 1 yen is worth 71 cents or $0.71. You key that in, hit the adjust button again, and now you're able to go out, and if you're going to buy something for $6.99 there, you hit your equal button, and that's going to equal $4.96. A very handy tool. I love it. 125 yen. No problem. I'm spending $88.75. All right. So that wraps up most of the features that I really dig about this watch. And you can reset that, go back to adjust, and just hit the reset button and travel away and know the exchange rate. Do a quick backlight test here. We have a very amber LED backlight. Not the brightest light I've ever seen, but with a 10-year battery, no solar, very acceptable performance. All right, one more point I want to show you, and on your data bank, right now it says I have 22 slots remaining. So if I want to erase some entries, simply go to the page that you want and hold down the adjust button, put it into adjust or edit mode, and then hold down the B and C button at the same time, and you'll see clear appear, and that will erase that entry. And then you can override it or do a new entry, or just hit the adjust button again and get you out of that mode. So right now I've got 2 entries. I've got a fictitious license and a fictitious number for your mom. No, just kidding. No mom jokes. And I'm going to go ahead and just go into edit mode and erase these. And you can put in new entries there or take it out of adjust mode, and then that blank is clear. Now I'm left with a fictitious license number, and you can see no other entries are in there. Go to edit mode first, hit adjust, and now we could either change it or clear it. And we've chosen to clear it out of adjust mode. we now have all 25 banks free. So a little pointer there on how to erase some of the content out of the data bank. All right, as we wind this video down, let's do a quick side-by-side comparison with our classic CA53 versus our DBC32, and you can see the display is a lot larger on our DBC32, but the original awesome Marty McFly is hard to beat, man. I love both these watches. And for the price, for the money, I'd be hard-pressed not to recommend both of them. I mean, they're both very great watches and both collectible Casios, in my opinion. All right, don't unsubscribe, don't delete me, but I just wanted to do a quick side-by-side with our Apple Watch, the modern calculator watch, and just to give you some sizing and some perspective on the form. One of these watches is going to last 10 years. The other one needs to be charged every day. I don't know, man. I'll take the Casio. Let's get this on wrist and we'll wrap it up. Okay, no surprises here. As you might expect, this watch is super light, super comfortable. I literally cannot feel this watch on my hand right now after wearing that Apple Watch. You know, I love Apple. I love Apple Watches, but this is a true watch. And if you collect them, or if you love them, you've got to check this one out. I think it's just got enough of the calculator vibe mixed in with some modern appointments. You've got the Illuminator feature, you've got the data bank, and you've got the currency exchange, which I think is so much more useful than I would have expected. So definitely recommend this one for traveling, for just keeping in your collection. For the money, check out my links, and I really appreciate it. Give me your feedback on what you want to see next, and stay tuned for more content. I really appreciate you sticking around. Thanks so much for subscribing. Please hit the thumbs up on this video. Stay tuned for more content. Until then, I will see you next time.